Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, every Monday. We are live with you right here on YouTube, hanging out, talking Royal Caribbean cruises, and we're going to answer a lot of questions today about Royal Caribbean. I don't know if my headphones are on because I'm the only person who can hear myself. I don't need my headphones on. I had them on before. I apologize. Anyway, we're going to get a lot of questions today, but there's only one that is the most important question, and that is how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I've got 33 days till my next cruise on Adventure of the Seas. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Got lots of friends in the house. Kim Oakland is here. I see Tim Gallagher. Hello. Terry Gallant. Hello. Teresa McChain is here. And we already have, even like an hour before this started, we had our first super chat of the day. Jeremy 777 coming in with the super chat. And Jeremy says, will Royal Caribbean come back to Port Everglades? And will it also come back to Galveston as well? What about Seattle? Great questions. Thank you for the super chat, Jeremy. Yes, they're coming back to Port Everglades. Odyssey of the Seas is scheduled to sail out of Port Everglades this November. Galveston, you've got, of course, Liberty out of there until 2022 when Allure comes there at the end of the year. And Seattle, you've got the seasonal cruises to Alaska. So, yes, on all accounts. And Archie the Archie with a super chat as well. Monday, fun day indeed. Yes. Love it, love it. Christy and Bobby are here. Got lots of countdowns. We love it. That is awesome. A lot of people getting closer to their cruise. I am so excited, ladies and gentlemen, to go on my cruise. Adventure of the Seas, out of Nassau, 33 days. Honestly, it's not going to feel like it's going to happen until I actually get on the ship. A little weird sense of that there. Nick from Singapore is here. Nick just got back from Quantum of the Seas. Welcome back, Nick. Only like your, I don't know, 5th cruise now on Quantum. The hot tub is only 10 minutes because now we cannot share with other people and limited to 5-person only. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that. I did not realize that was a thing. So, of course, we're here to answer your cruise questions, talk about what's happening in the world of Royal Caribbean and the cruise industry. So feel free to jump in here with your questions. Traveling on, hello, about my beverage package for Adventure, and now the price, it got cut off there, but I'm assuming it went up probably, which is why I always tell people to book drink packages when you know you want them to protect against the price increase, right? Fred Parker in the house. What's up, Fred? Nice and early today. What about the governor's new law? Worried about sailing from Florida? It may not happen. Yeah, it's a game of political football right now, Fred. No one knows the answer yet, what that means. It's just too early to know if the Florida banned vaccine passports. Not only that, Florida banned the ability for any business to ask customers if they're vaccinated or not, show proof of that. So we don't know yet how that works. You know, you've got state law versus federal law. No one knows yet how that's going to play out. Hey, KB in the UK is here. What's up, KB? Is Wi-Fi available throughout Perfect Day Coco Key, or do you have to step into a Wi-Fi zone? It's around the entire island, or pretty much any place you would be on the island. Certainly, yeah. And it's included as part of your package price. You buy Wi-Fi on the ship, it's included on Perfect Day Coco Key, along with, of course, the drink package. Brian Kauf says, love your blog. I have planned 3 cruises from your tips. That's fantastic, Brian. Thank you for joining us here. Glad to hear things are that's been helpful. Joe Riley says, rub it in, Matt, because I'm going on a cruise in 33 days. We love it. Mike first, any news on the protocols? Nothing to report, my friend. Nothing to report. Stephen Z, first Kraken is on us. Well, I appreciate that, but I have the drink package, so I don't think it really matters, but it's the thought that counts. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Brogan, what's going on? Carlos wants to know, any news on early boarding time? What will happen or not? No updates to share, Carlos. Good to see you, buddy. Officially, super officially, Royal Caribbean has not shared any details yet about the boarding process. We do know, based on what Royal Caribbean has told the Bahamas, that the boarding for Adventure of the Seas in Nassau will occur at the British Colonial Hilton, and it will likely be between 1 and 7 p.m. Now, that's what they told the Bahamian officials. Could that change? Absolutely. Anything's possible. But officially, they have not announced to passengers what the policies will be. So, Dylan says, when can Symphony of the Seas take sail? Unfortunately, no one knows. Cruises from the U.S. are still very much in limbo due to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, essentially prohibiting cruises until they get permission to sail. So, Dylan, it's not a question of when does Royal Caribbean want to cruise. It's a matter of getting permission from the CDC. The earliest it could be is July. I really don't know that will happen. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully sooner than later. Let's put it that way. Michelle wants to know, does Allure of the Seas have Playmakers? It does not. Archie says, any idea of what the Harmony of the Seas upload was about? Upload? What do you mean by, is that a typo, Archie? I'm not sure what you mean by upload. Kim Oakland, good to see you, Kim. Welcome. Any idea when the next cruise planner sale is? I know I just finished one. Unless they update it, I'm going to check right now for you, Kim. I don't think so. Usually they don't plan these out that close together unless you get into like holiday season time frame. No, the last one was just May 5th. So no, we don't know yet what the next sale will be, Kim. So obviously, as you know, I will post about it when we know. But no, I don't have any heads up on anything else. Holly says, I thought the drink package was going to go down in price on a holiday. I'm not sure what you mean by down in price. I mean, the price, let me put it this way, Holly. I'm going to answer your question in a more roundabout way. The price for drink packages varies from ship to ship and sailing to sailing. And depending on sales and a variety of factors, the price may go up or down. Sometimes it just seems like it's Royal Caribbean voodoo. No one knows how it works, but it works. And so it just kind of happens. At any rate, there's no necessarily, I'm sure there's rhyme or reason to it, but prices don't necessarily go up or down as a result of a holiday or not. One thing I have noticed in my experience, sometimes the prices actually are higher for holidays than maybe a cruise that has the same itinerary, same ship on a different week. But, you know, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Izzy wants to know, will there be any other ship sailing from Singapore? Right now, no. Quantum of the Seas is it. This is the longest Royal Caribbean has ever had a single ship sailing from Singapore. It's been, you know, the world's loss is Singapore's gain in the sense that the entire cruise industry has been shut down elsewhere. But obviously, Singapore opened it up earlier, and they've been able to have that there. And from all accounts, seems like it's been a tremendous success. But I don't know that the market can handle another ship, as in there's enough demand for it. But I know they're doing very well with those sailings, which is great to hear. I mean, our own Nick, who's in our chat, has gone on there like 3 or 4 times now, which is good for him. I'm still jealous of it, but yeah. Let's see here. Few Embry wants to know, does Royal Caribbean still have the adult game show, The Quest? They did before COVID. I don't know if that will change after COVID. We don't know yet what to expect on that. Let's see here. I have my first cruise scheduled for 5 days in the Caribbean in October on Adventure of the Seas. What are some must-dos? On Adventure of the Seas, obviously you got the wonderful row promenade. You've also got to do sail away. When it's time for sail away on the first day of the cruise, go down to the helipad. Check that out. That is fantastic. You're going to love that. Azumi has, sorry, that's reverse. Adventure of the Seas has the only Azumi on the Royal Promenade. Something different, something unique. Always nice to be able to see that. You got ice skating shows. I think those are really worth seeing. So there's a lot of cool things. Water slides, those are definitely worth doing. If you got kids at Splashaway Bay. It's my first time going on Adventure of the Seas in June. And by the way, 33 days. Can't wait. Mark the Shark. Hello, Mark. Penny Bell. I'm booked on Celebrity from New Jersey in July. Any word? We haven't heard any updates about what's the fate of July cruises, Penny. We're all in the same situation, waiting to hear about updates from Royal Caribbean. Mike says, is there any rules today on how many people can sit at one table now due to COVID guidelines? No, Mike, Royal Caribbean has not announced their protocols for cruises either from North America or Europe or anywhere in between. We don't know the protocols yet, what those will look like. Carlos, we're going to Alaska in May 2022. Nice. Any news from Canada on Alaska cruises? No updates. I don't think Canada will announce any updates until one of two things happen. One, they either decide to renew or let it lapse their ban on cruises, and that doesn't occur until, I believe, February or January of next year. So you got a lot of time before that happens. Or number two, things improve so much in Canada that they would rescind the ban. I don't quite see that happening anytime soon. But no, there's no new updates on that front. Let's see. Dave Lucas. Good morning, mate. Welcome. Furman, hey, Matt. I was reminded to how important it is to call and reprice your cruise before final payment. Save $614 on your September adventure cruise. Fantastic. That is awesome, dude. Yeah, so one of the great tips I always love sharing is before your final payment date, call and reprice, take advantage of a price drop if there is one. Now, Furman, I'm going to give you another tip to save even more money. Would you like to save more money? Oh, yes, I would, Matt. Great. Here's how you can save more money, Furman. Under the current Cruise with Confidence program, this is a different policy than it was pre-COVID, but you can actually do a price adjustment like you just did, even after final payment date. Under the Cruise with Confidence program, Royal Caribbean adjusted its best price guarantee. Anyway, if you get past final payment, let's say your final payment day is today, tomorrow, next week, a week before your cruise, there's a price drop. You can do the same thing, Furman, but instead of getting cash back, you'll get onboard credit. So keep looking, keep checking right there. Paul Somerville, where would you recommend for a pre-stay hotel for the November group cruise, or do you normally get a group hotel? We usually do. We get a group hotel, but there's a lot of great hotels in South Florida. The one I always recommend, I don't know if it'll be the group hotel or not, Furman, Paul, sorry, is the Embassy Suites at, I believe it's 12th Street. That one is like one of the best ones that's out there. Really, really good. So, Phil, are you going to have the beer package? Me personally, I'm getting the unlimited alcohol package, the deluxe beverage package. Royal Caribbean got rid of the beer and wine package a number of years ago. So if you want alcohol, those are the only ones you got the choice from. Jenners wants to know, what is my favorite food at Azumi? Oh, man. I would probably have to say I think the DX Sushi Combo is fantastic. Love that. Really, really good. Josh Carruthers is here. Hello, Josh. Good to see you, buddy. Laura says, have had 9 cruises canceled so far. Have 5 cruises scheduled for November 21 till December 2022. Had 2 Disney cruises canceled twice. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people in chat who are like, yep, that happened to me too. And maybe not the Disney thing, but canceled cruises, unfortunately, there's a lot of them. The Justin family, top 3 Royal Caribbean restaurants and why? Ooh, in my opinion. All right. I'm down. Izumi Hibachi, number 1. Awesome food. Great experience. I could eat there every day of the cruise. I love it. It's that good. Number 2, I would say, what's it called? Sabor. Sorry, brain not working here. Unfortunately, this is water, not coffee. Anyway, Sabor. I love Mexican food. The guacamole alone is worth going to. And number 3, I'm going to give you guys a little curveball here, and I'm going to say the new barbecue restaurant on Oasis of the Seas is fantastic. It is so good. It is slap your grandma good. That's how good it is. Brian says, what do you typically do when you drive to the port for parking? Use hotel parking, cruise packages, park at the port, or other? I always park at the port. I do not like parking cruise packages. Number 1, I don't think it saves you much money at all. Back in the day, I would say a decade ago or so, like it could really save you money. These days, they just, I think you're better off, quite frankly, trying to find the best possible price, lowest price for a hotel room that you want, a hotel you want to stay at, because obviously not every hotel offers a parking option. But try to get the best possible price for the hotel you want to stay at. Park at the port. You get more choices that way in terms of hotels. You also get to, you're not waiting for a shuttle. You're not traveling on someone else's schedule. Well, I remember this is there was one time we did a cruise and we were like, all right, we're gonna park off site and it's gonna be super easy. We're gonna save so much money. And we're driving. This is a Port Canaveral. We drove to Port Canaveral. We get to the port and we take off the exit for our parking lot. And as I pull into the parking lot, I just see a line of people waiting for a shuttle. And I looked at my wife and she looked at me and I said, nope. And we cut the wheel, went straight to the port, parked there. Ain't nobody got time for that. I want to get on my cruise. I don't want to be waiting around. Teresa McShane with the super chat. Thank you, Teresa. Thoughts on injunction hearing Wednesday, especially since Alabama just beat them for overstepping their powers. I did not realize about Alabama. That's news to me, Teresa. So I'm not familiar with that. Thank you for that update. You know, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV either. So I have no idea. Here, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the initial hearing. This isn't like the entire court case. I think this is usually like just to hear the virtues of the arguments or what have you, and if it'll move forward, I don't know. I hope it. Yes, I would love for it to be effective. I'm concerned it'll be thrown out, but I'm not a lawyer. I really don't know anything about the legal arguments being used, if it has merit, if it doesn't have merit. I don't know, but it'll be very interesting. And of course, that'll be happening on Wednesday. Don't worry, friends. We'll have full coverage for you at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Yeah, Kenny says park at the port. Unless there is potential for bad weather, than parking covered. Never do the hotel. Your car sits in their lot, no security. Yeah, I mean, the security issue, Miami has a really bad security issue when you park offsite. But the issue for me is I don't think you don't save that much money, and it's far more inconvenient to park offsite. In terms of the weather, Kenny, for Royal Caribbean, all the lots now are covered unless you're on the top level, obviously. But Miami, Port Canaveral, even Bayonne, they're all now all switched to covered parking. So at least you've got that. April, other than a beach day, what excursion or activity do you recommend at St. Kitts for young children? Ooh, I got a good one for you, April. I got a great idea, something we've done with our kids. There's a train tour. So St. Kitts is one of the few Caribbean islands that has an actual full gauge train. Like, it's not a mini train. It's not a, I don't know what else. I don't know anything about trains, but it's like a real train that they built during, obviously, the colonial era, in which they were transporting sugarcane from the country to the docks. But the train is still there. It's really neat. Kids love trains. I mean, it's kind of a fun thing to do. It's a one-way trip, so they either bus you to the train, and then you take the train back to the ship area, or vice versa. It's a little long, but kids usually like that, and it's something different. It's not a beach. It's not a snorkeling excursion. I have a review of it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com as well. Devin says, I'm not a lawyer, but I did say at Holiday Inn Express, right? Lauren, hello, Lauren. Are you doing a dining package in your upcoming back-to-back adventure cruise? One leg, both? Neither, because of the restaurant unknowns at this point. Good question. We're doing both. We're doing a 3-night package on the first leg, and we're doing the limited dining package on the next leg. So I'll get a good taste, no pun intended, maybe a little bit of intended, of all of it. So, but no, I'm not worried about that, Lauren. Yes, there's some unknowns about restaurants and all that's going to be, but I think you guys want to know what's happening. And my goal with these Adventure of the Seas cruises is not just Matt laying in a lounge chair drinking a pina colada while taking selfies. Yes, I will do those things, but it's really about, this is a research trip, ladies and gentlemen. In the name of science, I, Matt Hochberg, am taking it upon myself to bring you the in-depth research. Did you hear that, IRS? This is a research trip. Research to bring you on and answer all your questions. So I don't come back here and April asks me a question and I say, I don't know. No, I got to be able to answer them all. And if not, I'll go back on the cruise again. Gary McHenry says, I love the new slide on Oasis. Do you mean the Ultimate Abyss slide? Very fun thing. Yeah. Caroline G wants to know, any thoughts on the deluxe drink package? Is it worth it? It absolutely can be worth it. If you drink enough every day, it will absolutely save you money. There's no question about that. The question is, will you drink enough every day of the cruise? One day, anybody can drink a lot, right? But it's the question of, over the course of 3, 4, 7 nights, can you drink enough of it? I have found it. I changed my tune early on. I'm sure there's recordings of me saying this somewhere. I was not a fan of the drink package. I thought it was way too much. Now, I really can't imagine going on a cruise without a drink package, because I don't want to be sitting there like in my lounge chair and thinking, do I want to drink? Well, I kind of want to drink, but I'm going to be cheap and I don't want to get a drink now. Should I wait till dinner? I hated doing that. So it's just a lot easier to get the drink package. Minecraft Master, can you describe the icon class? Yep, here it goes. Ready? We don't know. They haven't really given us many details about it, so there's not a whole lot that's out there. Don Goldstein, listen, it is a research trip. This is a business trip, my friend. Michelle Prose, hello. Sharon Stockman is here. I see Beth Dickerson from MEI Travel. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys are going cruising all night. Rita, have your pina colada and then take your selfies and post them on the blog. Then, if I post on the blog, it's a business expense. Mike, will you be planning a group cruise from LA? Not initially, no. It would be great to be able to do that maybe in the future, but I don't have plans to do that right now. So, Gonzalo, do you believe any cruise lines will stop visiting the U.S. like Carnival or Norwegian are saying? I don't think they'll go stop from the U.S. They're talking about Florida, Gonzalo, not the U.S. So if your question is, do you think those cruise lines are not going to sail from Florida and would opt to restart from like Galveston or Bayonne, New Jersey? If push comes to shove, the answer is yes. Norwegian's cruise line CEO said that. Listen, it's a bit of an idle threat, a little bit of gamesmanship here. You got to understand that. But at the end of the day, though, if they have the choice, they are a business. They have to go where the business is. And if they can sail from Bayonne or Galveston, but not Florida, they're going to do that as well. So I think they've demonstrated that. Jim Barker going on your first cruise in October. Fantastic. Nick wants to know, do you think another ship will come to Asia since Voyager will set sail back to Europe and the U.S. next year? To some extent, yes. Whether they're coming to Singapore or not, Nick, I have no idea. But generally, there's a bit of this kind of, they kind of replace to some extent. I don't know if it'll be the case this year or next year, what have you. But in general, I would expect that. The whole when it comes to the restart, Nick, and which ships will be in which markets first, and pre-COVID, it was a lot easier to figure out. Broderick, if the super chat donations are taxable, it makes perfect sense to me that cruise expenses are tax deductible. All income is taxable, right? There's no money I can make from anywhere that's not taxable, right? Juicy Jewel, can you summarize what usually happens on embarkation day for the benefit of first cruisers? Sure. And I'm going to give you, Juicy Jewel, the pre-COVID explanation because we don't know yet what the post-COVID explanation does. Essentially, in a nutshell, you arrive at the cruise port. You have a check. Before the cruise, you check in via the Royal Caribbean app. You get a check-in time. You go to the cruise terminal at your check-in time. It's just kind of like the airport. Drop off your luggage, fill out some paperwork, check in, wait to be called to board. Once boarding begins, they call your grouping. You get on board the ship, and then it's up to you what you want to do. A lot of people go to eat lunch. A number of venues will be open for lunch. You can go grab a slice of pizza or a sandwich or a salad. There's a lot of great choices for you. The water slides are open. The pools are open. And the afternoon is really spent kind of exploring the ship. Around 1 o'clock, your stateroom is usually ready. You then be able to get in your stateroom at that point, check out your digs, start unpacking your luggage. Eventually, Royal Caribbean will deliver your luggage at that point. And then towards the late afternoon, evening, you'll have to do the muster drill. And the muster drill is a safety drill that's compulsory. Everyone has to do it. And then after that, the ship usually sets sail, and you've got evening entertainment, dinner, lots of activities going on. We got another super chat. Jeremy coming in with another super chat. Matt, will there be future Royal Caribbean trips from San Francisco? I don't think so, at least not in the short term, Jeremy. As you're probably well aware, Royal Caribbean is starting cruises from Los Angeles in November of this year. But generally speaking, all those sailings are going south to places like Ensenada and Cabo and Mazatlan and all those other places down there. They're not going north up the California coast. So, Jeremy, I don't think that that's going to go in that direction. Gabriel says the Oasis-class ships are Bayonne and Galveston, the only ports that can accommodate those large ships. Outside of Florida, Gabriel? Yes. On the East Coast, or not on the West Coast. Yes, that would be correct. Dream Vacay, are Nassau and Grand Bahama Island good ports to go, or should I save for the Eastern Caribbean ports? They're nice ports. Nassau probably has more to do than Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is better known as Freeport, and it's not a very traditional cruise port. Yes, it's served cruise ships for a while, but there's not as much to do there. So they're not bad ports. It's a matter of what you look to do there. In the grand scheme of things, I think most cruisers, Dream Vacay would tell you, well, if you had the choice between like Nassau and St. Thomas or St. Kitts or somewhere else, they'd probably prefer St. Thomas, St. Kitts, one of the other islands. They're a little more exotic, a little more beautiful, a little more something nice to do there. Anyway, but I also don't look negatively on Nassau or Grand Bahama because they're still beautiful places to visit. They're nice. There's stuff to do there, just not as much, if that makes sense. So, Archie the Archie coming in with another super chat. And Archie, I guess this is a gifted super chat because Archie's asking for somebody else. For Jake, can you use an Apple Watch as a SeaPass and room key? I don't know. I've never tried it. That's a good question. I really don't know. I would always use my phone, but I also don't have an Apple Watch, so I am not sure. For room key, I am all but certain the answer is no. That could have changed since the whole cruise line shuts down. And Homeless Cruiser says no on the Apple Watch. That's my guess. My guess is no. I've not heard of it before. I also don't want to be the kind of person who tells you guys yes or no based on my limited experience. And, I'm the first to admit some things I don't know. This is one of them. But my gut tells me I'm kind of hungry. And it also telling me, no, I don't think you can use the Apple Watch. Brogan, do you think the States will be open to Brits this summer? I'm thinking of a land vacation to Florida. I think they're open right now, aren't they? You just have to get a COVID test, right, to get in the country. But yeah, I would think so. Mike, first, do you have any information on using walkie-talkies on the ship, and what frequency would be the one to use? I do not recommend using walkie-talkies. Number one, there's a lot of interference because of the ship is made out of metal. So there's a lot of interference, and more importantly, they're annoying to other guests. I'm going to say it right there. It's really annoying to everybody else. Whether or not it works or not is secondary in my opinion. Instead, what you should do, since you all probably have one of these, is use your phone, get the internet package. It's cheaper than buying new walkie-talkies anyway, at least ones that'll work well, and use a messaging app to talk with each other on there. It's way better. Trust me on this. Go in that direction. Maureen is late to the game. Is Royal Caribbean sailing from New Jersey in July? We don't know what the fate of July cruises are right now, Maureen. Officially, they're not canceled, obviously, but whether or not they'll actually sail, you might as well ask me for winning lottery numbers. I probably have a better chance of guessing that right. Lorna says, can you go on the helipad on Odyssey of the Seas? No, unfortunately, on the Quantum class, you cannot. You can go on the helipad, Lorna, on Radiance, Freedom, and Voyager class ships. Gonzalo wants to know, how strong is the internet on a cruise? It depends on the ship. Some ships have much stronger or better internet, I should say, than others. The Wi-Fi signal is pretty much all over the ship. That's not an issue. The issue is the actual speeds you get. On the newer ships, you get better speeds. On older ships, not so great speeds. But there's a lot of middle ground there, and it can really vary. So don't expect anything amazing. But for regular web browsing, going on Facebook, checking email, messaging, those are fine. So, Steve Cohen says, I thought you could message through Royal Caribbean's app. What's up, Steve? You can. Well, pre-COVID, it was still in testing on two ships, Allure of the Seas and Harmony of the Seas. Whether or not that has changed yet, don't know. I do know also it's on Quantum of the Seas for sure, because our good friend Nick, who's here, has proven that. On Quantum, though, they charge extra for the chat feature. But full disclosure, Royal Caribbean usually charges for things in Asia that they don't charge for in the U.S. or Europe. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Brandon, is Grandeur doing the Southern Caribbean at any time in the future? Yes, this December. Beginning in December 5th, Brandon, Grandeur will be sailing out of Barbados. So she begins her cruises in Barbados and then sails to the Southern Caribbean. So, absolutely. Deputy Man, any further news about Mariner rescheduling? No, unfortunately not, man. I almost forget about it. Still don't know why they did it, but nope, no news on that. Fred, believe Royal Caribbean will change ports for current bookings or another port, or cancel if they cancel out of Florida? Good question. I think the issue is not so much, in my opinion, and again, Fred, I don't know more than you do on this. In my opinion, I think the issue is not so much a willingness to position another ship in the Caribbean to sail from there. The issue is the logistics. Are there ports that can handle a ship? That's the issue. Not from a size standpoint, but from a supplying and operational standpoint, the logistics of it. It's not so easy to embark and disembark a ship in one of these ports. I think that's the issue. So I think I'm not sure if they could really put another ship down there. Also, there's an issue of demand. There's a lot of people who simply will not fly to go on their cruise, or not fly to the Caribbean anyway, for a variety of reasons, whether they don't want to fly in general, whether they find the airfare too expensive. There's a lot of rationales for that. Slangelier? What happens if you book an excursion with the Royal Caribbean and you end up with bad weather those days? Unless the tour operator cancels the cruise, you're on the hook for it, buddy. You can cancel your shore excursion a couple days in advance, but if you wake up that morning and you open the blinds and it's like stormy and rainy and overcast, you got to go on it, unless the tour operator cancels the excursion. But no, there's not a bad weather thing. Keep in mind, by the way, in the Caribbean, just before you freak out about that, in the Caribbean, Bad weather is something that happens. It's more passing. It's not an all-day event. You don't get all-day rain soakings in the Caribbean typically like you do up north. Usually, this is what happens. You open the curtains. Hey, it's sunny out. You go down to your excursion. All of a sudden, it's getting cloudy. I hear thunder. Then it rains on you for like 15 minutes, and then it's clear again and sunny and hot. So don't worry too much about that. Christine Lugo, what are the chances that cruises will happen in December? Don't know. We just don't have enough information, and there's still too many variables to know exactly what to expect. So let's hope for the best, though. I really, I hate to, I don't want to jinx anything, but let's hope for the best. Subzippo, how many tumblers have you collected? You still keep them? I have a lot of them, actually. They're right behind they're over my shoulder. These days, I don't collect them all. I don't take one back with me unless it's a new design that I don't have, and then I put it on the shelf behind me. But yeah, other than that, yeah. And Don Goldstein, Commander, good to see you. Bring a poncho, absolutely. Raul Robinson is here. Have a question. Anything news on Liberty of the Seas out of Galveston this August? No. Just like Christine's answer about will there be cruises in December, I don't have any other updates or information about cruises sailing from the U.S. this year. There are only 6 ships that I can tell you with confidence will sail this summer, beginning in June. And that would be the ship sailing from the Caribbean, Europe, or Singapore. So that's really Odyssey, Quantum, Jewel, Anthem, Vision, and Adventure of the Seas. If it's not one of those 6, don't know what to expect. We're all kind of waiting. Peter D says, you have a favorite cruise director? I've always liked Jimmy Rhodes. I think that, what's interesting is I feel like the cruise directors have gotten a whole lot better and more standardized, or there's not as many like ebbs and flows. Like I think when I first started cruising, I'd be like, oh, wow, that's a great cruise director. And like, wow, that guy is not so good. But I feel like they've gotten a whole lot better with trying to get everybody on the same page and not have those deep valleys, so to speak. So they're all really good. They do a great job. Hey, Ron Ladowski says, I enjoy listening to these live broadcasts. No matter how much I think I know about cruising, I always learn something or reminded about something else. That's what we're here for, buddy. Good to see you, Ron. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Steve, your favorite ship, Brilliance of the Seas, headed to Miami now, hopefully to give shots and load up some employees. Yeah, that definitely is the case. If you guys haven't been seeing this, one of the things Royal Caribbean has been doing a lot lately over the last week or so is bring ships into Miami, get their crew vaccinated, and then send the ship back out to get a new ship in there. They're working very, what's the word? Very hard. That's not really the right word, but they're working, they're trying to get as many crew members vaccinated as possible in order to obviously be ready for a restart, which is good to see, obviously. Listen, we don't know when cruises might restart, but signs that they're moving, that Royal Caribbean is moving towards a restart, which obviously getting crew ready is one of those signs, is great to see. So, diligently. Thank you, Jeff and Andy. Yeah. That's a much better word. I apologize. English is my first language. Juicy Jewel, which ship is better, Rhapsody or Grandeur? I mean, I don't really prescribe to the idea that there is a better or worse ship, especially when you're talking about Rhapsody and Grandeur, because they're basically the same ship. The differences are so minuscule because they're the same class. They have basically the same things on board. Flip a coin. Whatever's cheaper, I guess. So, Phil, how are the pools? Wet. I'm pretty sure they're wet. Michael, I'm booked to be sailing on Allure of the Seas next May around the Mediterranean. Would you say the drink package is worth it for younger passengers who enjoy drinking? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to drink 5 or 6, cocktails or alcoholic beverages a day, absolutely. Yes. I think it definitely makes a lot of sense. Fred Parker, you are very welcome, my friend. Mr. Ray. Hey, Matt, I have a cruise in March 2022 on Navigator. Why do they push up the time frame on sending the ship west? Now it's on the Freedom. That's a good question. So Navigator's moving from the East Coast over to the West Coast a little earlier than usual. Originally, she was going to start cruises in June of 2022, and now she's going there in November. I think, Mr. Ray, honestly, I think like many decisions Royal Caribbean has to do, it all boils down to money, right? The money's dollar bill, y'all. I think that's really what it amounts to. In my opinion, they don't tell me, but I assume that's what it's about. Basically, there was demand. They want to get there sooner, make the money. So Yeah. Jay is here. I just had a Matt Hotchberg sighting in Cruise Habit's Brilliance Tour. You were in the Colony Club, and Billy said the Windjammer is huge. That brings back good memories. What is my favorite drink on the cruise ship? Lava Flow with Kraken rum. Man, if I wasn't watching my girlish figure or trying to prevent my girlish figure from completely going away, I would definitely say the Lava Flow with Kraken rum. It's very important when you specify that. It'll change your life for the best. No question about it. So, holy moly, we got an epic super chat coming in. Sharon Stockman. Woo! Thank you, Sharon. It hasn't come up here on the thing, but I see it in the chat. Thank you, Sharon. My goodness. The Alabama court case was about the kibosh on the evictions. Judge ruled the CDC overstepped the boundaries on the laws in place. A lot of people think that bodes well for the Florida, Texas, and Alaska lawsuit. Hope it does. Absolutely. I mean, listen. That now the question is, here's my follow-up. How long did that case take? In the sense of, when the first hearing was versus the ruling, I guess, today. How long was that? That's another big question that's out there, in my opinion. But listen, I've always thought from the beginning that I don't think the lawsuit against the CDC is going to do anything. I quite frankly, in my unprofessional opinion, I expect the court case to be thrown out, the lawsuit to be thrown out. But it has had a more important purpose in that clearly the lawsuits, the public statements, the legislation introduced into the U.S. Congress, all of those things have worked together to really compel the CDC to act. I think it's undeniable that the whether or not the lawsuit has an effect remains to be seen, but the overall, the pressure is mounting against the CDC. And listen, Sharon, I appreciate the update on that. That's good news, obviously, if we can get that, because that would be great if we could get that silver bullet to get cruises being able to restart like that. But I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to get your hopes up either. That's part of it. I think a lot of you guys kind of agree with me on this, is that, like, you don't want to quote the Backstreet Boys, quit playing games with my heart, right? You don't want to get to the point where you're getting your hopes up, you're counting their chickens before they're hatched, right? You don't want to get there yet. You want to, but you know you shouldn't. So playing it safe until it's really ready to go. Brownie Girl wants to know, what can you do if only one passenger per room drinks enough to support getting the drink package? Second passenger doesn't drink coffee or alcohol. That's an interesting. Number one, if one, you can always call Royal Caribbean and explain the situation to them. They will let you book the Royal Refreshment package, which is the non-alcoholic package. Now, there's one other option, and I was reminded of this little tip, Brownie Girl, on this week's podcast that I recorded today. So if you have 2 rooms, Brownie Girl, 2 rooms or more, if you book the alcoholic drinkers in one room and the non-alcoholic drinkers in another room, you can get around that rule. Because at the end of the day, Royal Caribbean does not care who sleeps in what room. Like, as an example, when I book 2 rooms for me and my kids, we may put on paper that I'm in one room, my daughter is with me, and then my wife and my other daughter are in the other room. But in practice, the kids sleep in one room, my wife and I sleep in the other room. It doesn't matter who sleeps in which room. So that's another tip for you as well. I think I see Mr. Joe Mock in the chat. Where did Joe go? Hold on a second. I got to say hi to Joe. There he is. Matt, how does the food at El Loco Fresh compare to Sabor? Since I probably won't ever get to Sabor. Sabor is a higher quality sit-down experience, whereas obviously El Loco Fresh is, grab and go. You walk through, you grab a burrito. What I love about El Loco Fresh, Joe, is the Fixins bar. There's a large salsa bar, and you can put pretty much any topping that you've ever seen in a Mexican restaurant on your tacos, on your quesadilla, on your chips. I love piling it high. I'll be over there and be like, hey, Joe, how's it going? Oh, yeah, no, a great day out, huh? Hey, is there any more of this guacamole here? It's good, and the price is right, Joe. So don't feel too bad about that. Andre, do you think the Europe cruises will happen? Well, we know of 2 cruises that'll happen from Europe this year, right? Jewel of the Seas out of Cyprus. Actually, 3. Jewel of the Seas out of Cyprus, Odyssey out of Haifa, Israel, and Anthem of the Seas out of Southampton. But you're talking probably about the other cruises, right? Like, Harmony of the Seas, right? I hope so, my friend. I really don't know. I don't know more than you do. No one really knows the answer to your question, but I you gotta have hope, right? So we'll see. Vicky Enza going on a 12-night Southern Caribbean cruise in December, making it as all-inclusive as possible with drinks and a Wi-Fi package, photo package, unlimited dining, and 6 shore excursions. Fantastic. One other thing, Vicky, you might want to add if you haven't done it already to make it more all-inclusive, prepay your gratuities. One less charge to worry about. That's a great idea. You know what, Vicky? I would love when you get back up from that cruise, let me know what you thought about that. Going in that direction, would you do that? Would you pre-purchase all those things once again? Because I'm curious. It's something I've written about on the blog, but you're definitely doing it. John Babera? Oh, I'm not saying that right. I'm sorry, John. I noticed in the cruise planner that the price of the internet package is 20% discount, exactly the same without the discount. Is this a common practice for Royal Caribbean? I noticed in the cruise planner that the price of the internet package is exactly the same without the discount. What are you comparing against, John? I guess is the question. I mean, here's the bottom line. The price of the Wi-Fi package is always cheaper online than it is on the ship. Is that what you mean, or are you talking about something else? Because I'm not sure I understand your question. Teresa says, I'm not sure how I feel about Matt singing the Backstreet Boys. That's like all the words I know. I mean, I know like the, quit playing games with my heart, in my heart. I should have known from the start, I think are the words. I don't know. My wife knows all those words. I don't know the words to the song. So luckily for you guys, I don't know the words to many songs. So that's the problem. Michael Gaffney, one more question. Is it possible to request a table in the main dining room before sailing so you are not sitting with strangers? Yes, you can. Absolutely. There is an email. Hold on. Let me get you the email. There's an email you can send a request to for this. Dining request email. It is rcldining@rccl.com. So you send an email to RCL, Romeo, Charlie Lima, dining@rccl.com, Romeo, Charlie, Charlie Lima. Send it 2 to 3 weeks before your cruise with your name, your reservation number, and which seating you're in for dining, and they will accommodate you. They do a pretty good job with that. Obviously, Michael, if you're in my time dining, you don't have to do that, because when you just show up, you'll say, can I please have a table by ourselves? You may have to wait a little bit longer for it, but you can do that. Beverly, my husband spoke with Royal Caribbean. Our July 3rd cruise is still on, but it's not listed anywhere on their site other than our reservation. I was able to book dinners. Interesting. Which cruise is that, Beverly? I would love to know which one that is. That you might something might have changed. We might have some breaking news on our hands. Which sailing was that? NBA Celtics 9, thank you for the super chat. Random question, are you a sports guy at all? I love baseball. Baseball's my sport. I love it. I see your username. I watched basketball when I was a kid in the 90s when like John Stark played for the Knicks, and obviously Michael Jordan for the Bulls, and Karl Malone for the Jazz, and Clyde Drexler for the Trailblazers, and Larry Johnson on the Celtics. Like that to me was a golden age of NBA basketball. And I kind of, after that generation, obviously Larry Bird on the Celtics, you guys know this. Anyway, after that generation kind of moved on, I lost interest in basketball, but I love baseball. I'm aware of what's happening in football. I don't watch it really all that much, but baseball is the heart of what I do there. Ben, what have the crew been doing on board? A lot of them have been quarantining to get on board. They've been running up till now, Ben, with skeleton crew to basically maintain the ship, right? But they're trying to bring some of their people on, other crew members on, to prep them to be able to obviously resume service at some point. So we'll have to see there. Terry, Matt knows his phonetic alphabet. Listen, I know some things, and that is definitely one of them. So Kevin McBride, listen, man, we don't bring that kind of negativity in our chat, okay? Friends don't let friends root for the Red Sox. So, listen, no one's perfect. I get that. But you either love the Yankees or you don't say anything about the Yankees. How about that? Stacey, will Navigator be returning to Florida? If cruises resume this summer or fall, yes. But obviously in November, she's headed to Los Angeles to begin cruises from there. So she'll have theoretically a short sailing from the United States if they restart quick enough. Dennis Arman, I have a cruise on ratings out of LA in October through the canal to Miami. Hope it sells. That would be amazing. Danny DiMatteo wants to know, what is your favorite Caribbean cruise? Western, South, Eastern? Southern Caribbean is amazing. Unfortunately, getting to a Southern Caribbean cruise requires usually a flight. So it's a bit of arduous journey to get there. So I would probably rank them Southern 1, Western 2, because I love Mexico. I love the food there. And then 3 would be Eastern in that order. So Beverly Judica, go Orioles. I admire your gumption that after, 2 decades of being terrible, you're still rooting for them. So you must love the Stros, the cheaters. Yeah, I really love the cheaters. Oh my goodness. Second only, of course, the Red Sox, also cheaters, but the whole Apple Watch and their manager is a giant cheater, but yeah. Zach, Glenn, and Matt, the crew have definitely been wearing cargo shorts in the main dining room during this. I think that's probably a safe bet. Absolutely. Jason, what is this November group cruise you speak of? So we actually have a Royal Caribbean blog group cruise this November on Harmony of the Sea, sailing out of Port Canaveral. It is a 7-night cruise over Thanksgiving. It's going to be amazing. Check out royalcaribbeanblog.com/events for more information about that cruise. royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. And I hope it goes there. Yankee Oscar Lima Oscar. YOLO. Indeed. Let's see. Why doesn't Royal Caribbean do South America? Good question. So, Kevin, they did used to go to South America, but probably not about 10 years ago, I'm guessing, the Brazilian economy collapsed. The real, I hope I'm saying that right, their currency lost a lot of value, and basically it became not nearly as profitable to operate cruises to South America or from South America. They used to offer a lot of cruises from Brazil. They don't do that anymore because of the economy there. Basically, long story short, they can make more money with their ships elsewhere than they can in South America. NBA Celtics. I guess I'm not surprised because your name is Celtics, but listen, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's all I will say. Darlene, waiting to book my first Royal Caribbean cruise. Frustrated because the lowest price with date shows one price. Then I click into it and it has a higher price. Continue with no upgrades and even get a higher price. So this, unfortunately, is the nature of Royal Caribbean's website. It usually will show you the lowest price, either for a specific sailing, like maybe not one you're looking at, or more likely, Darlene, the configuration you're looking for. Like sometimes the price is based on, let's say, 2 people. But if you want 3 or 4, the price will be very different in that situation. It also depends on which room category. Here's what you should do. Number 1, do not book your cruise directly on Royal Caribbean's website. It's a mistake. Book through a good travel agent. Beth Dickerson from MEI Travel is in our chat right now. She can help you out with that, right? Use a travel agent. They can explain things to you. They can give you the right price. No surprises. I use a travel agent. I think everybody should use a good travel agent. So that's my advice for you on there. Yeah. Mike Wolf coming with our next super chat. Best advice Matt has ever given. YOLO, book it. Go Minnesota Twins. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. Listen, friends, when in doubt, this is kind of an inside joke here we've had that people would come in here, back when cruising was happening, like, Matt, should I book this cruise? And I would say, YOLO, book it. You only live once. Just book the cruise. Go for it. You'll thank me later. Suzanne is just joining in. Our cruise is going to go in August from Florida. I don't know. No one knows, actually, unfortunately. We just don't know the answer, Suzanne, about what to expect. The cruise lines are at the mercy of the CDC. So a lot of this still really stems from, will the CDC allow cruises to go? It's a matter of getting permission, which, of course, cruising is the only industry that has to ask for permission to restart operations, because no other industry related to COVID has done that. Even the U.S. prison system allows now visitors to come visit inmates in prison. You can go to Sing Sing, but not on Symphony of the Seas, which is crazy if you ask me. But hopefully, we'll have cruises from the U.S. very, very soon. That would be fantastic if that was the case. Let's see here. Daniel says, I'm using Vacation to Go. It's very hit and miss. Again, I don't want to, I'm not here to debate, which agencies are not. Obviously, MEI Travel is a sponsor of RollerCaribbeanBlog.com, full disclosure. But the reason why I partner with MEI Travel is because I used them before they were ever a sponsor. I love their service. I love what they do. They're good people who know what they're doing, who take care of their clients. That, to me, is why I recommend them and why they became a sponsor, quite frankly. Kenny K coming with a super chat. YOLO 2022 late group cruise for July. Please, I'm ready, and go Chiefs. Oh, man, go Chiefs. Listen, Kenny, I promise you this, my friend. When we know in 2022 there's a group cruise that is going to happen, like we can say, like, you know how Adventure is going to sail this summer, right? We know that. Vision, we know that. When we know there's a ship that's going to sail in July, and there's a good chance of that, Kenny, because, of course, don't forget, my kids are off of school, and that's always a thumbs up from the wife. There's a possibility of that happening right there. So, Bullet 930, not 1930. Bullet 930, thank you for the super chat. This might be, what is SGD? Is that Singaporean dollars? My first super chat in Singaporean dollars. Thank you, Bullet, for the super chat. Thank you. Love your live sessions. Keep it up. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I appreciate you with your support. Have we really been live for an hour, almost an hour already? Holy smokes. We got a couple more minutes here, guys. So we'll have to answer as many questions as we can here in the last couple minutes there. So let's see here. Our next question is from Paul. Who do you use for booking flights? Now, that I still use on my own. The airline industry really doesn't support travel agents like they used to. They really don't make money on it. So, but I will usually go through, I used to go through like the Expedias of the world. Now what I do, Paul, is I look at like on Expedia to get an idea of like flight times. And then once I find one I like, I go to the airline's direct website to get the best possible deal. It just seems to work quite well for me. Sharon's talking with a super chat. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that. How many live chats will you plan during your back-to-back? You need to give us a schedule before you leave. How about a lot? I mean, are we talking per day? Sharon, that first day, there's probably going to be like 2, 3, or even 4 live broadcasts. My goodness. I want to share everything with you guys on there. I don't know what the schedule will be. There will be a lot. There will be a lot, Sharon. So this is a good reminder. If you don't have this already, make sure you have the YouTube app on your phone. Turn on notifications. So that way when I go live, you may already do this anyway. But anyway, it will notify you in the app. And another super chat. Danny DiMatteo with a super chat. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Let's see here. Diana. Australians have been told our borders won't open until next year. Looks like Ovation in November and February. I hope they at least let, Diana, at the very least, I hope they allow you to cruise from, do cruises like just for Aussies and in Kiwis, right? Like little bubble cruises. Let's at least let you guys do that, because it's crazy that they won't let, obviously you'd be able to fly to New Zealand, but you can't go on a cruise that just visits New Zealand and Australia, Tony Diaz with another super chat. Can't let you leave yet. You do care. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Austin Green, I've only cruised with Carnival so far. I really enjoy late night atmosphere, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. How does it compare to Royal Caribbean? Well, I think a lot of things, Austin. Number one, and you may know this from Carnival, not all ship experiences have been the same. Shorter cruises, you get more of a party vibe than longer cruises. That's just, I think that's across the board, I think. But there's definitely late night parties on board. It depends on the time of year. Spring break, you get a little more rowdiness maybe than other times. But shorter week, if you do a weekend cruise out of Miami, it's gonna be a party ship, no question about it. We've got back-to-back super chats coming in. Archie the Archie, how many super chats till Matt Rage quits? Thank you, Archie. I don't know how to answer that. And Vicky Belleville, thank you for the super chat as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Joe, staying at the Bahama June 18th. Plenty to do there, correct? No need to leave for food or fun. Yeah, I would imagine. I've never stayed there, Joe, but I've heard nothing but great things of the Bahama. I don't think you can ever make a mistake by going in that direction. So, yeah. Joe Mock, I agree with Tony Diaz. Let's not start agreeing with Tony Diaz is rarely a good idea. But thank you, Joe, for the super chat, buddy. Thank you. Wow, the notifications are really far behind. I'm just getting now Vicky's. So here comes Vicky's, and then Joe should be coming up like right behind it. But man, you guys are overloading the super chat program, okay? Can't keep up with you guys. Thank you so much for your generosity. Sharon Stockman, thank you for the super chat. So do I. Guys, do not ever agree with Tony Diaz. NBA Celtics, how much money it's for you to wear a Red Sox jersey? Not enough. Not enough, friend. Not enough. And Remy68 with the super Rosanna. Thank you, Rosanna. Finally made it. Thanks for all you do. Rosanna, thank you for your generosity. I do appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with me. Josh Lawson, Matt, do a recap. I don't know when cruises will actually restart from the U.S. There's going to be the first hearing from the lawsuit on Wednesday. There's good news from a different lawsuit against CDC that just came out, but we don't know if that has any correlation to the lawsuit against CDC for the cruises. Tony Diaz is not right. I don't like the Red Sox, and the drink package will save you money. There you go, Josh. Ask and you shall receive. Andy, thank you for the super chat. Agreeing with Tony. Guys, I'm telling you, you're gonna live to regret this. Oh man. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Beverly, don't you think that our Florida governor will work things out with the cruise line? Seems like businesses that cruises bring to the state is worth it. I would have thought so, Beverly. I mean, thus far, and again, things can change. Obviously, we know that, right? But the governor's office just said the other day, over the weekend, they issued a new statement saying they're not changing the rule. They're not gonna. I don't know. I hope. I would listen. I understand where the governor is coming from to some extent. But I don't agree that he clearly has to look at the cruise line and say this is a different situation. Yes, of course, they should be able to just cruise without it. They don't need to do that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I agree. In principle, yes, but in practice, in the world we live in, they at least need it temporarily, for a variety of good reasons, right? We're not talking about McDonald's requiring the vaccine to get in their restaurant. That's a whole different argument, and that's what that law is for. But as it pertains to the cruise lines, to your point, I agree, Beverly, he should see this. Okay, let's at least give a waiver temporarily for this, and we'll revisit it in 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be. Archie, let's take Matt to a Red Sox game. The last Red Sox game I went to was in elementary school. Went to Fenway Park. We saw the Angels, and I'm pretty sure Wally Joyner played for the Angels back then. That's how long ago that was. Thank you, Archie, for the super chat. Vicky, it's going to be a big party when the cruise lines open up. Oh, man, you have no idea, Vicky, and myself included. It's going to be hard to sleep it's going to be hard to sleep that week before the cruise, that night before the cruise, the night of the cruise. I mean, it's going to be so many emotions going on there. You guys are going nuts with the super chats. Holy moly. Steven Z with a super chat. Windjammer. Daniel, are all ships starting again going to be using the trace bands like Odyssey? Good question. Royal Caribbean has not said so yet, but I expect it, Daniel. I really do. I think on Adventure we'll be wearing them, but we'll have to wait and see. Royal Caribbean has not announced their new protocols yet for the cruises restarting this summer, like Adventure, Vision, and whatnot. So, yeah, we still got to wait and see on that one. Daniel, what if a different country requires that the governor's rule doesn't make sense? Well, yeah, I don't again, Daniel, I don't know. You bring up a very valid point. I don't know. Danny DiMattei with another super chat. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it. What's the chase band? Oh, there's not a chase band. I think they're talking about the tracelet. Probably just a typo. Anyway, basically, it's a wristband that's for contact tracing, so that you wear it around the ship. Doesn't do anything ordinarily, right? Just tracks your movement. And then obviously, if someone were to come down with COVID, they'd be able to quickly determine who was in close contact with that person. They use it in Singapore on Quantum of the season. It works quite well. And don't worry, they destroy the data. They're not interested in mining it and tracking how many times you go to the bar. It's not for that. They're keeping it for health purposes only. Kenny K with a super chat. I agree with Tony. But seriously, if the CDC is requiring a business is not... Wait, what? But seriously, if the CDC is requiring a business is not, should that be the workaround? I think I understand your point. I think you're agreeing with what I said, Kenny, but obviously the English there a little suspect. But thank you, Kenny, for the super chat. Guys, we've been live for an hour talking Royal Caribbean. I really vaccine. Yeah. I know what you meant, Kenny. But thank you for the super chat, guys. I really appreciate all your help tonight. So much great support, not only from the super chats, but you guys being here, liking this video, joining me here in chat, talking Royal Caribbean. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. I even love you Red Sox fans who obviously root for a cheating team, but you know what? You're good people because you come in here, you talk Royal Caribbean, you're good friends, you can make a good joke. I appreciate that. I'm so proud of this community we have here. Thank you guys for being amazing. I really appreciate it. And another super chat coming in, Ron Ladowski. I felt like I was missing out on something, so here it is. I agree with, oh no. Oh my goodness. And another one. Guys, Josh Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. And Tony Diaz coming in with a super chat. You can go now. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. My goodness. All right, guys. Well, again, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Tomorrow, I've got a YouTube video that I think you know that GIF, the meme of Michael Jackson eating popcorn. You're gonna need that one for tomorrow's video. It's gonna get you thinking on tomorrow's video. So check that out. We'll have it up for you tomorrow morning. Of course, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, a number of new blog posts for you as well. Our podcast episodes, our message boards are all waiting for you there. And another super chat. We got, oh my goodness, you guys are going nuts here. Archie coming in with a super chat. One quick song before bed, though. Like I've always said, I need like an inspiration for a song. Like, you know, quick playing against my heart just comes into my head, and then I'm like, you know, but I don't know the words. I don't know. Like, I need inspiration for a song. Also, a song that I actually know the words to. And thank you for the super chat, Archie. Appreciate it. And Renell Simmons, thank you for the super chat. Keep it up. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Dave, does anyone know how to like the video when watching on an iPhone? I think if you get out of full screen mode, Dave, and you scroll down, I thought there was an option like you should have it like right below the video, like in the PC, but I don't know. All right, guys, have a great rest of your have a great week, everybody. Teresa. Oh, there it is. I'm like, how? Thank you. Oh my, now the super chat bot is ahead of what I'm seeing here. Teresa reluctantly agreeing with Tony. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. Guys, have a great rest of your week, everybody. Hope you all stay safe out there. Do something fun. And we'll talk again Oh, wait a minute. Before I go, I got to say thank you to all the super chatters today. Where are my manners? Teresa, thank you for the super chat. Renell, thanks for the super chat. Archie, thank you ×8, I think, for the super chat. Tony Diaz, thanks for the super chat. Josh Taylor, thanks for the super chat. Ron Ladowski, thanks for the super chat. Kenny K, thanks for the super chat. Danny DiMatteo, thank you for the super chat. Stephen Z, thanks for the super chat. Vicky Belleville, thanks for the double super chats. Tony, I don't know if I said thank you already. Thank you, Tony Diaz. Teresa, thank you again. Andy, thanks for the super chat. Remy68, thanks for the super chat. NBA Celtics, thanks for the super chat. Sharon Stockman, thanks for the super chat. Joe Mock, thanks for the super chat. Vicky, thank you again. Danny DiMatteo, thank you again. Sharon Stockman, thank you again. Bullet930, thank you for the super chat. Kenny K, thanks for the super chat. Mike Wolf, thanks for the super chat. Sharon Stockman, you went crazy today. Thank you for the super chat, Sharon. Jeremy777, thank you for the double super chats. And I think we're caught up on all of that. Guys, have a great night. Stay safe out there. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.